Ladies and gentlemen, I've heard several Kenyans saying that William Samoei Ruto will be a one-term president. But again, I've looked at these people in a different lens, and I have realized that William Samoei Ruto will be the hardest person to remove in power coming 2027. Truth be said is that every person in this world is always hungry for power. Let's take an example of people like Zelensky. You just see how Zelensky can do anything to make sure that Russia-Ukraine war will never end, despite several people losing their life in Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen. But before I deep dive into this video, don't forget to like this video, comment, and most importantly, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if by any chance you are in this channel for the first time or you're watching us from a different platform, kindly head over to YouTube, search for Creative Salas TV. If politics, war, and documentaries is what you are passionate about, ladies and gentlemen, why will William Samoei Ruto remain in power in 2027? The first reason is, in 2027, in those presidential aspirants, William Samoei Ruto is the only candidate who is assured to be in ballot in 2027. Speaking of, yeah, he's the only person we know very well that will be in the ballot because he has already cleared with the IEBC, and his track record, being that he is the current president, no one can deny him a chance to go for his second term. Ladies and gentlemen, well, speaking of Rigathi Gachagua, a person whose political temperature in this country is giving William Samoei Ruto sleepless night. This guy, William Samoei Ruto, do you know how William Samoei Ruto can decide to kill his movement with only one bullet, knowing very well that Rigathi Gachagua have an pending impeachment case? William Samoei Ruto can use anything possible to make sure that he delays this Rigathi Gachagua's ruling until the day that the people are being cleared with the IEBC, knowing very well that he is the person who has commissioned arresters, the IEB chairperson, and all those IEBC commissioners. He can decide to delay this guy's case because William Samoei Ruto is the guy who controls the judiciary of this country, and William Samoei Ruto can just decide to delay the Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment case until the day or the very end of the verification. Then utasikiaje, the arresters will tell Rigathi Gachagua that, you know what, you are not eligible to vote. You are not eligible to be in the ballot, being that you have pending impeachment case, which as per that, which if by any chance will be said at that time, maybe a person like Kalonzo Musyoka will have already lost hope and say that, you know what, I'm going to support Rigathi Gachagua in ballot in 2027, which, truth be said, is that if by any chance which if by any chance atakuwa amesema atamsupport, it will be very difficult for these people to counterattack to say or impose another candidate like Kalonzo Musyoka and appear that, you know what, you are going to be our flag bearer, being that, and I know that Rigathi Gachagua right now understands that the deputy president, that the post of deputy president in this country has nothing. Yani ni kama ile post yenye haina value kwa Kenya. You can be impeached anytime. So Rigathi Gachagua can never work with any person in this country as his deputy. Saizi ni either yeye akuwe president, akuwe deputized na mtu yote, ama he can never allow to become the next deputy president of this country, knowing very well that Rigathi Gachagua has learned from his mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. So William Samoei Ruto can just decide to delay can just decide to delay the ruling on Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment case, and akishai delay, you know very well that according to Kenyan Constitution, Rigathi Gachagua is not eligible to hold any public office in Kenya. Secondly, aspirants like Maraga and Matiang'i are available and are easily abductable, and probably they can even be unalive, because the truth be said, and we understand very well that President William Samoei Ruto's government is the only government in Kenya that has put abduction and extrajudicial killing, something that is obvious. Ladies and gentlemen, you recently saw how Ojuang was murdered in a police custody, and then DIG said that it was self-inflicted. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto and his Kenya Kwanza administration can just decide to abduct, arrest, and probably even unaliving them, because in several locations. Because the truth be said is that a person like Matiang'i does not have security. Yeah, and comparing security of President Matiang'i and none other than President Samoei Ruto, you will find that President Samoei Ruto is Do you know the kind of protection that I can remember very well when the guy was in Oma Bay, the kind of security that was in Oma Bay that night? Huh? Yani abducting or unaliving President William Samoei Ruto can be difficult comparing to analyzing none other than Fred Matiang'i and Maraga, because you compare security yake and the people who are giving these people security are the same people who should be giving President William Samoei Ruto, the people who are giving these two guys security are the same people that President William Samoei Ruto anapatia orders. So truth be said is, if you are the person who has given me the people who are protecting me, and you are the person who are giving them orders, tell me, do you think how close or how easy can I lose my life? Ladies and gentlemen, knowing very well that the president will knowing very well that President Samuel government is full of abduction. We have also witnessed several occasions where in this country presidential aspirants have always ended up unalive. Speaking of a person like Saitoti, to tell me who knew that Saitoti will not be in ballot despite him being among the most popular candidates at that time. I think that Saitoti was among the most popular candidates of that time, and truth be said is that even you understand that if Saitoti angepelekwa kwa serikali, I think that he could have won easily, and maybe angekuwa kwa list ya president saizi wenye tumekuwa nayo kwa hii country. Well, the third and the last reason is President William Samoei Ruto can just decide to block all the aspirants from being in ballot in 2027. You remember the time when none other than Ichungwa was in ballot alone in Mount Kenya, knowing very well how the Mount Kenya people are always greedy for power. So President William Samoei Ruto can just use the IEBC chairman Erastus and say that, you know what, all these people should be disqualified and all these people should not be in ballot in 2027, and if ifanyike wamekuwa kwa ballot, you are the only person who is going to pay for all this thing, being that he is the person who commissions these people. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your own thoughts on comment section. Why do you think that William Samoei Ruto might be or winning against William Samoei Ruto in 2027 will not be a walk to the park, despite several Kenyans right now preaching a one-term narrative? Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on the comment section. At last, I was your host Silas. Till next video, bye bye.